According to Torah Law, if you are with someone who doesn't serve the Most High, are you allowed to leave them? According to Torah Law, if you are with someone who doesn't serve the Most High, are you allowed to stay? According to Torah Law, if that person is a foreigner, can you stay with that person? According to Torah Law, if that person you are with is an Israelite and they don't serve him, can you stay? This is not according to my opinion, but according to as it is written. I'm seeing a lot of people in relationships or trying to get into relationships or trying to keep relationships that they probably shouldn't. And I'm seeing people considering possibly to leave people they probably shouldn't leave. And I also want to give a warning to people who are single to be careful. And I've already made these videos when I was outside. So please stay tuned and watch these videos, because according to the scriptures, you're going to want to take heed to some of these warnings. Shalom. Everything you have, you attracted into your life. And everything you don't have, you distracted it out of your life. And you're doing all this right now. If you came into this truth and you're with somebody and that person isn't serving the Most High, it's because you attracted them into your life in your wickedness, and now they are a distraction in your life to serve the Most High. And so now you're wondering, what are you supposed to do? You married somebody who isn't righteous because you was wicked when you married that person. Well, the scriptures don't say that we're not supposed to be bound by a wicked person. I'm going to bring out the scriptures. I just wanted to give a personal message. Another thing, if you continue to be with someone who doesn't serve the Most High, you are going to either be attracted into their world, which is not serving the Most High. They're going to influence you to not service the Most High. And in Deuteronomy 13:6, which I'm going to review, Yah says anybody that tries to entice you to serve another Elohim, you are supposed to put them to death if we were in the land of Israel. Obviously, you can't do that. So I recommend divorce. Anybody that tries to tell you to serve somebody else, a Christian God or a Buddhist God, JC, anybody. I'm not going to mention those names. But if anyone's trying to convince you not to worship the Most High, you're not authorized to be with that person unless you yourself plan on not serving the Most High, because they are going to distract you, according to Deuteronomy 13:6, to leave the Most High. Because that is the law of attraction and the law of distraction. No one really speaks about the law of distraction. Yahuwah does not want you or any of us to be married to someone who does not worship him. This is written in Deuteronomy 13:6. In Deuteronomy 13:6, Yah says that if anybody, family member, spouse, or friend, tries to convince you to leave him, if we were in the land of Israel, they're supposed to be put to death. But we're not in the land, and so the only thing you can do is divorce them. Deuteronomy 13:6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, Let us go and serve other Elohim, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely, of the Elohim of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, as far from thee, from one end of the earth, even unto the other. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him, to put him to death, afterward the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from Yahuwah thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of Baal. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this among you. So Most High believes that anyone trying to convince you to leave him, they are so wicked in his eyes. So why would he want you to remain with anybody who does not worship him? It's just not the case. If you are with someone who does not worship him, you're not allowed to be with them. According to Torah law, you're supposed to divorce them at the very least. We are not supposed to turn a blind eye with anybody. Anybody among us, if we were in our land, if we catch anybody sinning against the Most High, with our own eyes, we're supposed to convict them. We're supposed to rat them out. This is written in Deuteronomy 17:2. So if you're married with someone and they do not entice you to leave the Most High, but they're not following him either, and they're worshiping other Allahim, according to Deuteronomy 17:2, we're supposed to grab them and accuse them and report them to the authorities to put them to death. Deuteronomy 17:2. If there be among you within any of thy gates, which Yahweh thy Allahim giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of Yahweh thy Allahim, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other Allahim, and worshipped them, either the sun or the moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, thou hast heard it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it is true, and this thing is certain, and such abomination is wrought in Israel. Then thou shalt bring forth that man or that woman which hath committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and thou shalt stone him with stones, that they die. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy to be put to death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of all the people. So shalt thou put away evil from among you. So Most High takes breaking his covenant very seriously. You cannot worship another Elohim, nor be married to anybody who worships another Elohim or God. At the very least, divorce that person, because you are not in your land and you cannot put him to death at this time.
First, above all, you cannot love anybody more than the Creator. There is absolutely no law in the Torah commanding anybody to be bound to a wicked person. All you see is the Most High saying to put them away. Put away evil from among you. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 10. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh.
About allegiance to the Most High. If you are with someone who's a foreigner and they want to serve the Most High, and you're already married to that person, you cannot leave that person, because that person has allegiance to the Most High. On the other hand, if you're with somebody who is an Israelite by blood, but they do not serve the Most High, they don't have allegiance to the Most High, you are not authorized to be with that person according to the laws of the Most High, if that is the laws you plan on keeping. Deuteronomy 13:6. And there's other scriptures which I will review. I just wanted to give everybody a personal message, and so I guess we'll take it from there. Shalom.
Deuteronomy 22 verse 22. If a man be found laying with a woman married to a husband, then they both shall die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. If adultery meant death, what was divorce for? Deuteronomy 24 verse 1. When a man had taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he found some uncleanliness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give her in her hand, and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
As we read Deuteronomy 24, divorce is permitted, and it is an option, but we must use it with caution, because the Most High hates divorce. He hates putting away. You cannot unrighteously divorce anybody. Sometimes, some certain situations, which I can't possibly name them all. If you're married to someone who's a drunk or a crackhead, or someone who's just not right in the head, and for whatever situation, maybe they get angry too fast, and they were a threat to your life. Someone like that, you can't possibly be with that person. Or let's say you made a covenant. You wrote in your covenant, let's say you're a woman, and you made an agreement with your husband that he cannot take another wife.
Okay, you have that in your covenant. If he breaks that oath or vow, you have the option for divorce. So I can't bring in all the situations when divorce is okay, but it is an option. But you must use it with caution. It's always been about allegiance to the Most High Yah. It doesn't matter if they are an Israelite by blood or if they are a foreigner. If the person you are with, your spouse, or your girlfriend, or boyfriend, which you're really not supposed to have, but if the person you are with does not serve the Most High, you can't be with that person. You have to divorce or leave them. We're not supposed to have any other Elohim but Yah. Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah is our Elohim. Yahuwah is one. And thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. So if you love Yahuwah with all your might, you will leave your wife or your husband if they don't serve him. It will be that easy. Job 11:13. If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thine hand towards him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far from thee, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. So your wife or your husband, they live with you, right? They're not supposed to live with you if they're wicked. So you have to put them away. Again, remember, it's all about allegiance to Yah only. So if you married to someone who is a foreigner, and you marry them before you realize that perhaps you should not have married them, but they have allegiance to the Most High Yah, you cannot put them away. You should not put them away. Proverbs 8:17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. It is written in the scriptures that the Most High accepts foreigners who serves him, who worships him. If you are not with a foreigner, you should not seek a foreigner to be your spouse. Because at this time, we are not in our land. We're supposed to be praying for revenge on the foreigners and our captors and our oppressors. This is according to Psalms 58:10-11. So if you're seeking someone who's a foreigner, or if you're married to someone who's a foreigner, it would feel a little bit awkward praying for revenge on his own people. But if they have allegiance to the Most High Yah, this is exactly what they have to do. They should want revenge for what all people have done to Yah's people. So if your spouse is willing to have allegiance to the Most High, he's supposed to also have allegiance to your people. Psalm 58:10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So that a man shall say, Verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a deity that judgeth the earth. So in Isaiah 60:12, it tells us what's going to happen to many of the nations. For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come to thee, the fern tree and the pine tree and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. So the nations are going to worship the Israelites. And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of Yahuwah, the Zion of the set apart one of Yasharal. So this is the future of the nations. They're going to be servants to the Most High's people, Yasharal. So if you're married to someone who is a foreigner and you married them before you came into this truth, as long as they have allegiance to the Most High and they understand the future of the nations who oppressed his people, and they still want to be with you, there's no reason for you to put them away. You really can't, according to scriptures. Everyone that cursed the Israelites will be cursed. But also remember, everyone that blesses the Israelites will also be blessed. Some nations are going to be our allies, which I'm not going to review at this time. You're just going to have to stay tuned and wait until I have time to cover that topic. But there are going to be some people who are foreigners who actually are on our side. And we see that in the scriptures. Moses married an Ethiopian. She was for the Most High's people. As a matter of fact, if you remember, the death angel was about to kill Moses, and his foreigner wife, the Ethiopian, saved his life by circumcising his son. And remember Ruth? So there have been times when foreigners have helped the Israelites. Remember the harlot, I believe her name was Rahab. So this could be a situation where, you're married to a foreigner and they're not against you. But Edomites, they're going to be extinct. The Most High is going to cut the seed of the Edomite. But if the Edomite is a woman, she doesn't have seed. So as long as you're married to somebody, especially if it's a woman, and they have complete allegiance to you and your people, and you know this to be true, then you really probably shouldn't leave them. And I can't personally recommend that you leave them. But that's for you to distinguish. I really can't distinguish that for you. I can only show you the scripture. Read Ezekiel 25, verse 12 through 14 to read the vengeance that's going to happen upon the Edomites. So to finalize, use divorce with caution. If someone clearly does not worship the Most High Yah, you should not seek to be with that person, or you should not stay with that person. If someone is a foreigner and they have allegiance to the Most High, you should not think to put them away. But if they don't have allegiance, yes, definitely divorce a foreigner without a question. But remember Malachi 2 and 14. The Most High hates putting away, and he hates divorce. Malachi 2 and 14. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because Yahweh hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet she is thy companion and the wife of thy covenant. So if you're with somebody and you do not have a covenant, you don't have a contract, you never exchanged vows publicly, you're actually not married to them. Okay, but that is kind of a topic for another video. But if you think you're married and you're concerned about divorce and you don't have a covenant and you didn't make it an actual betrothal, you're not married, so this doesn't even concern you. You actually can put them away because you're not legally bound to them, or you didn't make any vows. You should check out my video on marriage and how having sex does not make you married. So this might be a moot point for some of you people who think you're married and you're actually not married. But let's continue for those who actually are married. They have a contract and they have a betrothal and they made vows and they married according to the 5 stages of marriage. Let's continue. Verse 15. And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit. And wherefore one? That he might seek a seed of Elohim. Therefore take heed in your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of thy youth. For Yahweh, the Elohim of Yasharal, saith, that he hateth putting away. For one covereth violence with the garment, saith Yahweh of hosts. So if you divorce your wife, and it's unrighteous, it's like a violent act against her. Imagine a woman making covenant with a man, and then she thinks that that's her forever, man. And then she's trying to be set apart. She's trying to be righteous. And then you come along and you divorce her. That is murder to the woman. The woman who wants to be set apart, you just murdered her. How is that going to feel in her spirit to have her flesh ripped apart? Because you're supposed to be one with her, and you just ripped her apart. You tore her off your flesh, and you discarded her. This is, of course, is if she is your actual wife.
and you actually made covenant with her. But if you told her you were married and you didn't actually make an actual covenant, and she actually thinks you're her husband, you should deal right by her, because if you sleep with a woman anyway, if you're a man, you're supposed to make her your actual wife. So if you convinced the woman to have sex with you and you told her having sex makes you married, and yes, you were wrong. You're supposed to do the right thing and make her your wife the right way. So if you're a man and you're with the woman and it's by sex, you're actually with the concubine. You need to make her your actual wife. You need to do the proper steps of marriage. Seek my other video, The Stages of Marriage, and do it the right way. Ask her father for permission. Give her a dowry. Honor her as a betrothed wife. Do not dishonor her and treat her like a girlfriend. Again, a topic for another video. People are just not right. Okay? If you need counseling, you can hit me up on Patreon and support me there, and then I can extend myself to you. Okay? Because this whole marriage thing, the way we're treating marriage, is just wrong on so many levels. Elders have dropped the ball, and they haven't been teaching it properly because they themselves have not studied the scriptures. They've been taught by other elders, very simple, that having sex makes you married, and it's just not the case. But let's continue. According to Malachi 2:14, the Most High hates divorce, and if you divorce or put away a woman unrighteously, you are murdering her. Verse 17. Actually, I think I ended off on 16 still. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously. Yet ye have wearied Yahuwah with your words. Yet ye say, wherein have we wearied him? When ye say, everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of Yahuwah, and he delighteth in them. Or, where is the Elohim of judgment? So if you call someone evil who's actually good, you are trouble in the Most High Spirit. So if you put away a righteous person, you are trouble in the Most High. You're not dealing right. Shalom, and Yah bless.